We just wanted to share some information and updates about the work of Digital Collective Africa. So as many of you know, Digital Collective Africa is an alliance at a Pan-African level between founders organization. So in South Africa, we have many organizations like Simodisa, Mathieu was here yesterday, Silicon Cape. We have organizations of investors. So we have over 60 investor organizations, VC firms that are active in this group. Some of them are here. Clive, one of the early contributor to that group. 4DI Capital was here until this morning as well, and many, many others. All of the top VC in South Africa are part of it, Knife Capital, etc., etc. We also have many members in the corporate sector. What is the goal of Digital Collective Africa? It's really some work that we do for you, the founders, primarily, and also to help investors have less friction, less deal. So on that platform, which is really a knowledge platform, you have a number of open source resources. So we have a VC deal database where you are able to see all the latest deal in the industry. So that's curated by one of our contributor, Darren Munich. So if you go in there, you'll see all the deals that are happening on the continent, from seed to Series A. It's currently in a form of an Airtable database. But more importantly, we have advocacy work, so supporting groups advocating for startup acts across the continent. So, you know, Senegal passed their startup act a bit a year ago. South Africa is very active. Kenya is working on it, Mali and many other African countries. So we have groups of people that are doing advocacy work, founders, investors, to push for this progressive legislation to be passed. But for you, founders, where it's really a tactical resource, is that you have this section called Financing Your Venture. And on there, with many, the support of many members of the organization, we have stuff that you can use when you do a deal or you prepare for a deal. For example, before Clive gets into your due diligence room, just get ready for it. So we've prepared a standard due diligence checklist. We have an event that was recorded when this document was launched. And it's basically a resource that you can use to get your startup ready for due diligence with an investor. From seed to Series A. The guys at Series B level don't need that because you've gone through that. But it's really something that is meant to really help you prepare for due diligence, and you've got lots of information there. Now, you can see tabs here, so you can really have a lot of section around your legals, your tech stuff, your business due diligence, and so forth. So I really recommend that you look at these resources because they are very valuable, and they are live resources. Now I don't seem to be able to go back here. Here we go. We also have standard term sheet. Term sheet is an essential milestone of any deal. It's really the core document before you get into your legals that is setting the terms of the deal. You need, especially the seed guys, you've never done a term sheet, right? So often you get a term sheet from the investor. In fact, you're waiting for the term sheet, like we get it. But term sheet is a two-way street. You need to engage with your investor, and this is going to determine the marriage relationship. Remember the panel earlier, you're going to get into this long-term relationship, the term sheet, and then the legals are going to determine a lot of elements there. So we are now on the third version of this. This work has been coordinated by one of more active members, Endeavor South Africa, but with the inputs from more than 30 founders and VC organizations. Third version, so this has already been third iteration of this. It now comes with notes, education components, so you can really use that as a way to engage and prepare for your term sheet when you do your first deal. We also have an event that was recorded, so it's this video, which is 1 hour and 20 minutes, very educational with some investors and some founders telling their stories and what to watch for. We also have a list of VC fund, 160 Africa-focused VC fund. On this list, it doesn't just give you the name of the investor and their email that you can find pretty easily, but also notes on what maturity focus they have, what geographic focus they have, what sector focus they might have, and some advice on how to engage with them. So, you know, you just don't knock on every door. You have to really, connect with the investors that's going to be right for you. These guys get hundreds of, documents every month, applications, so you're going to also make the life easier for them. And then we have a list of, for the first time, recently released, a list of incubators and accelerators across the continent with some notes, like you're looking for an acceleration program, an incubator, you can use that resource. It's a great guide. And that's it. And this is a living thing, so you can engage with Digital Collective Africa. It's really your platform to bring all the players together and help you raise capital, and for the investors to raise more capital from their LPs. And that's it. So is there any questions on that? All clear? Website is digitalcollective.africa. It's a free open source platform available to all, and it's your stuff. Okay, use it. Thank you very much. Any questions?
So again, what's going to happen for the pitches? They're going to go and do a pitch for 3 minutes, Q&A for 2 minutes, and then we move on to the next, and we can just keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. Right, Agrikool, let's get to you. All right, are you ready?
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Wait. Go to your slide first. And your 3 minutes starts now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I am Zamo from Agriko. Every year, farmers work tirelessly to ensure that there is enough food for everyone. However, there's still a number of people who are food insecure. It is even more alarming, as it's been said that Africa's population is set to grow by 1.5 billion by 2050. There is therefore a need that we help emerging farmers transition from small production to commercial production to meet consumer needs. But how is that even possible when so many farmers are faced with so many challenges? Like a smallholder farmer, Mr. Sitole in Great Towns, he farms 100 kilometers away from municipal agents' markets. He's deprived in access to markets that's fair and reliable, access to transport, access to information, and he gets charged some exorbitant fees by municipal market agents. And more interestingly, on the other side of the coin, we've got Manais, a small fruits and vegetable vendor, and Dion, a senior buyer at Boxer Superstores. These two gentlemen, they experience the same pain points, having to wake up early in the morning, go to the market, paying extra for the transportation of fresh produce, finding consistent suppliers. This is all because the agri-sector is very fragmented. Well, enough about problems. What are we doing to make things better at Agriko? We help emerging farmers with access to markets so they could improve their household income and livelihoods by aggregating demand in their informal retail markets and in the formal markets. We then convert that demand to access to markets for emerging farmers like Mr. Sitole. We further help them with logistics support like quality assurance, transport, pack house, so they could distribute to many outlets. The market, according to Venture Band, is huge. It is estimated to be 33 billion, and 90% of this market, it is untapped. We've got quite a number of competitors in the space, which includes Kula, Now, and RSA. Currently, since we are at a small scale, we are using a model of buying fresh produce at a low prices and sell them at a higher price. But as from next month, since we've raised some funding, we'll be pivoting into a commercial model of charging a 6% commission fee. There are many ways in which we could grow our business. An obvious one is product line. We've got a facility and do bigger volume. Alternatively, we could also do geographic expansion, where we could have Agriko here, also in Johannesburg, and further to other countries. And on a monthly basis, we do an average gross of 350,000, and we've raised over 2 million rand in grant funding this year. We've got 210 farmers in our database in Pietermaritzburg alone, and we've partnered with some reputable retail space, which includes your Spar, your Boxer, and also Fruit Sports in logistics. Ladies and gentlemen, I would have not been able to do this alone. This is a cool team. Thank you very much.
Hey, wow. Wow. So I used to be an auctioneer, and that was pretty fast, man. Well done. Well, I still do auctions, and yeah, we got some competition. Your Q&A starts now. Can we pause the clock? Just pause the clock.
Sorry, testing. Can you hear me? All right, there we go.
Let's go.
Well done. That was a very good presentation. I'd like to know more about your initial stage in terms of your business, right? You speak about how you are able to help these people. Am I also being timed?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so just quickly, please describe the process a bit more in terms of your access to market? How does that work?
Okay, so how it works is that a farmer will inform us that they've got produce, but we prefer being told when it's still a seed or being transplanted as a seedling. And then we'll take that to the buyers. It's either the informal market or formal retailers, and then we'll provide the linkage between the two.
All right.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
got it,
And
thanks.
further also provide logistics support in between.
Okay, thanks.
Are you leveraging technology in any way?
Yes, that's the plan. We're using minimal viable products, which we're using WhatsApp and phone calls at this moment, but now we'll be investing in a tech to kind of automate all the processes of negotiating and linkage. Thank you.
What's preventing you from scaling?
It was mostly logistic, but fortunately we've recently partnered with Fruit Sports to use their logistics to transport produce throughout KZN.
I just want to say well done. A lot of entrepreneurs wait until the tech is perfect before scaling, so well done. It's good to see some good revenue numbers.
Thank you very much.
There you go, great. You still have 30 seconds to ask any questions. Are our judges happy? Are your judges happy? They are thumbs up, well done. Congratulations to you. You can just take the mic right that way. I like the way that when he was moving, and each judge asked a question, he went like this, and like this. Very, very easy, just like that. All right, so next up, we have got, where's the clicker? Okay, you got the clicker there. You got sorted, no? Yes, sorted?
You guys hear me?
Perfect. And put your slide up. Click, click.
Awesome.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Hi guys, my name is Loiso. I'm from Sorted. All right, I'll take you through our platform. Okay, cool. So we are we're a vehicle licensing platform. We make it easy for people to digitally renew their license disc. And that goes beyond just that license disc component. It includes as well fines management. So our whole role is mobility and compliance. And obviously due to COVID, our big sell has been very easy to make for people who are trying to avoid that social contacting. And then we obviously want to make it easier for people to be able to save on time. And that's just the B2C, and we'll run you through the B2B as well. And then obviously when it comes to B2B, they're currently using their own employees to be able to do their vehicle licensing renewals. That can take anywhere from 3 to 5 days. You don't want that, especially if you're using your drivers or someone else who's got another function. And that's where we come in. We take that responsibility away so your employees can do what you employ them to do. And admin issues. So we all understand when it comes to vehicle licensing or it comes to the department, there's a whole lot of issues. And that's where we come in. We aggregate all that information. We come before the department and we say, okay, cool, we are the authority on this space. We will help you with the solution. In fact, we get calls from the department themselves asking us how we can help them with some of the issues that they have. And then the solution, so we've built a platform. First, we started off with B2C, and B2C was primarily to help the customer, the end customer, who didn't want to go and queue either at the post office or queue at the traffic department. And so we said, okay, cool, we'll make your life easy, we'll give you reminders, and then we'll also help you know when you have fines outstanding. And when it comes to when it comes to business, we decided, okay, cool, that goes on just beyond that. Sorry, I'm just looking at time. We usually do presentation of about 10 minutes. Cool, so solution. So competition, we have different kinds of competition from the B2B and the B2C competition side of things. And when it comes to B2B, that's our biggest opportunity yet. There's a lot of guys who are trying to do stuff out. It's mostly fleet management companies who aren't really vehicle compliance heavy. Cool, and then we obviously have our market share, where you guys will see we have the 12 million vehicles in South Africa. We're currently focusing in Gauteng and Cape Town. And our focus is 1.8 million vehicles and 300,000 vehicles in the Western Cape region. Traction, yeah. So these are the companies we've partnered with. One of the companies we hear about that we've partnered with, and we obviously have approached our B2B guys who are obviously giving us the additional network into the broader vehicle space. And then we're just voted Fast Company's most innovative companies in the top 20. Good news to us. Cool, our revenue model, $300 once-off fee for the B2C, and for the B2B, they pay $50 per month per vehicle.
Sorry, your 3 minutes are up. I am so sorry, but keep on the microphone. Keep the microphone there, well done. We're going to have a Q&A session now for just 2 minutes, and are you ready? Okay, the clock is almost ready, so Judges, you ready? You got some questions lined up? Awesome, awesome stuff. And your 2 minutes starts now.
How do you see the use case growing beyond vehicle licensing?
Okay, so that will still be the majority of our task, even 5 years or so, because that's obviously where the money is. But we obviously want to aggregate beyond just that, where they control all their fleet movements, because what happens is a company may have a vehicle in one fleet, in one division. Maybe if it's a Ballawall company, they'll say it's in sugar. Today they'll move it to a different department. So we're able to move it with the driver and attach the fines management with the driver. That way, if you sell your asset, we obviously account for that as well. So big sell for the B2B, B2C, that's going to be the main stuff.
2 questions. The 300 Rand for the individuals, I think is quite high because other licensing departments is something like 150. Number one, is there really an uptake? The other one that I want to ask is, why are you not in other provinces yet?
Okay, cool. So the first one, the $300. $300 is so that we can accumulate enough of that LSM. So right now we're focusing on LSM 7 plus, and they're quite willing to pay that $300. And we are democratizing the price, meaning that as more and more users come in, we'll be able to get down to that. We actually are able to, we're looking to get into 200 by the end of this year. So, I mean, we obviously have that target in mind. And then the second question, why are we not in other provinces? So, because obviously of the scale, the number of vehicles that are in Gauteng, in Cape Town. So we obviously want to define ourselves in the market and obviously be the experts there first.
All right, so the licensing department has its own issues, you know, that technical ones across the board. How are you guys going to maneuver around that in terms of your type of business model?
Yeah, so first things first. So a lot of people aren't getting any live data from the department straight directly. So you get delayed data. The second thing is the department itself is not willing to actually accept.
Sorry to interrupt your word. I can see you were getting onto the autopilot there. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Thank you very much. We can hand the microphone over that way. Right? And 1 minute, we got to just wait a little bit. So far, so good. You are more than welcome to take a seat again. Thank you very much. And remember that we are going to be having an awards ceremony after all the pitches, and I'm looking forward to that. The awards are here already. I can't take any of them because I don't get an award for speaking here. But we were going to give them away as well. So we got one person coming forward now. Has he got the clicker with him? Yes, he does. Okay, great. You ready?
Yebo.
There's Yebo. Is that you?
Hey.
And click. Oops. Okay, and this is Leah, sort that out.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's technology.
Yeah. I know. I deal with it.
There we go. Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Thank you very much.
Winners. Right. And your 3 minutes starts now.
Emergency healthcare and personal security is only a dream for most South Africans living in rural and township areas. South Africa is also said to have one of the highest gender-based violence cases in the world. Apparently, our stats are said to be equivalent to a country at war. On the other hand, people are dying throughout the country because they cannot have access to ambulances. And private services are sometimes too expensive for people to actually afford. In fact, it's said that the first hour after a medical emergency is extremely critical in saving a patient's life. And if treatment begins later than that, the chances of recovery are actually reduced by 60%. Now, you've got people across the country who wait 5 hours to actually get an ambulance. And sometimes the ambulance does not even arrive at all. So Respo is taking a tiered approach in actually resolving this issue. Firstly, starting by providing a 50 Rand subscription monthly, which is medically supported by ER24 to provide trauma counseling and medical transportation. This is all available through our mobile application, which users can actually download, subscribe on, and use to actually request an ambulance. We've also added the panic button and a smartwatch to be used by the elderly. On the next phase of the project, we are looking to work with community-based organs, just like your community police forums, community healthcare workers, through our first responder app, because they are the ones who are usually closest to the actual emergencies. So this would help us in terms of reducing the actual response time and also providing protection for ambulances, because in some cases like Umlazi, ambulances are being hijacked. As I've mentioned, we do have a 50 Rand subscription monthly, of which is how we're actually making money now, which actually provides access to people who cannot afford medical aid to services like AR24 and trauma counseling. At the moment, it's easy to say we're looking for money, but really at the moment we're actually looking for partners who can actually help us tap into a network of clients or employees who could see a benefit for adding a service like this to what they are currently offering them. But in the near future, we will be raising funds. So, thank you.
Is that it?
That's it.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like, okay, this guy is on a roll. He's going to keep going for us, keep us informed of there. So Q&A, 2 minutes starts now.
All right, you made a reference to the elderly. Now, from a tech perspective, there are going to be people who struggle. How are you going to maneuver around that?
Basically, that's why we actually included a panic button. Panic button, just press the button. You do not have to scroll through the phone and all of that.
Just from a practical perspective, are we selling the panic button and then encouraging the app, or is it one or the other? How's that working?
Well, you're actually subscribing to the actual response service, which can be accessed via the panic button or the app. We're also looking at actually adding WhatsApp for some people, because again, we're selling a service. So you sign up with us prior. You don't necessarily have to have the app. You just have to have an account with us, because you already know who you are. We've got your actual medical history details, and we can respond accordingly.
I didn't get this from your presentation. Where are you in your journey at the moment? Is it MVP, before MVP? Are you still in ideation? Where are you?
Basically, we've built the products. Everything is actually live. We've just started doing B2C, which is a headache for us right now, honestly. But we've actually spoken to our mentors, and we are actually pivoting towards B2B2C.
Got it. Any insight into how much revenue right now in terms of traction?
Yeah, we do have 100 signed up individuals, but we actually have like 1,002 people who've actually downloaded the app, signed up, but the subscribers, it's only 100 right now.
What's the cost of making the button?
In terms of making what? The software?
Yeah, the production.
Well, the product itself, it actually because we're actually importing it. It's actually costing us 1,950.
I'm so sorry. There we go. On that note, thank you very much. Give him a round of applause. Well done, well done, well done, well done. One round. Right, so it's time to call up the next three people to please make their way to Katie's side. We're looking for Carscan. Hello, Carscan. Mohiri. Mohiri, you ready? Ah, he got the memo. We're wearing the same color suit. Ah, there we go. Your color, it actually suits the banners and everything. Fantastic. Foiscience. All right, so those are the three people that are going to be coming up there. And he's ready to go. Just make sure you good? You good? All right, your 3 minutes starts now.
Hi everyone, this is Obbins, co-founder and CEO of Carscan. We have been solving the problem for incomplete and inaccurate data in automotive industry. And this is the problem across the continent that we're trying to solve. What we have done actually is created a zero integration WhatsApp link that can be shared with anyone, and this link has AI and AR-based application that inspects, identifies damage, dents, and scratches, and lifts all the information required there. All those information creates the trusted source of the car health data that are utilized for building this Africa's health database. We are utilizing this application from the car importers in Kenya to literally the scrap yards in Nigeria and anything in between. So asset financiers in the country, insurance companies, fleet companies, roadside assistance, panel beaters, repairs, all of them are using it. We launched this in South Africa, and we have expanded it to Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana. Currently, we are generating 60,000 annual recurring revenue, which we are targeting to 1 million USD annual recurring revenue. We raised $700,000 USD last year in September, and we have a burn rate for next 6 months. We are raising 10 million USD for this expansion because we have just signed the deal with one of the largest Pan-African companies for the expansion in next 10 countries, and we are literally going to manage the entire car database across Africa. Thank you.
Wow. You have a minute left. Are you sure you don't want to?
Yeah, the current revenue is 60,000 annual recurring revenue. Yeah. And we are projecting it. Okay. So we have got the global experts here who came together to build this platform across. So we have brought the best in the automotive industry, best in engineering, best on research, AI, and the players who are actually know Africa so well that they know what is possible, how it can be taken to the next level.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much. With still a few seconds left, but well done. We're going to give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Reset the clock. You can just face the judges when you are responding to them, please. All right, and 2 minutes start. That's 2 minutes and 1 second, guys. There we go. Starts now.
So if you've got the big client, you have pre-seed, why are you raising again? What are you going to use the money for?
Okay, so we are using the money for further expansion across Africa. With all the latest collaboration that we have done across Africa, it requires a lot more penetration into the market, the tech scalability, and also around the operations. So this is what we are going to use for.
What markets are you currently in?
We are in Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Francophone Africa we are launching, and then we have 10 new countries coming through the new collaboration.
I'm curious about the research that went into all of this.
Okay, so the major research was into the automation of inspection tool that was designed over last 2 to 3 years on how we can use the image processing capability to identify those dents, scratches, damages in the car, lift the information from the car, to an extent like analyze engine noise for diagnostic of the car. So a lot of research has already gone into this.
Where are you seeing your biggest growth potentially coming from over the next 3 to 5, I guess?
Next 3 to 5 years, we want to become the single source of Africa's car health database, which is non-existent, literally, and we want to create those car health score, very similar to Vitality for the vehicles, which becomes a major source of revenue for us in next 5 to 10 years.
Judges happy? Presenter happy? You happy? Let's give him a round of applause. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well done.
All right, welcome back. So it's all about pictures, and we can hear some really, really great ideas that are coming forward. And next up, we have Mohiri, the man who stole my suit. Let's get to your slide first before we start. Just scan there to your slide, please, to your starting slide. You're welcome. Your hand there. So this one. Let's go to the next one. There we go. Okay. Let's just give him another round of applause. Give him some energy. Give him some energy. Ready. Right, your 3 minutes starts now.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tato Kasongwe, and I am the founder of Mohiri.
At Mohiri, our job is to build Africa's largest jobs database by consolidating the distribution of job and vacancy-related information. We think everybody's done a great job of building a job board, but this has led to a plethora of platforms for users to stay abreast with. So we think that there is a power in consolidating the distribution of all this information, and we found that users are happy to pay a small convenience fee for that. So we've done this by building a simple tool that allows a user to sign up in 80 seconds by having a conversation with a chatbot. We collect about 7 data points within that 80 seconds, and this service can be accessed on our website as well as within existing platforms such as Facebook Messenger or on Twitter DMs. And then what ends up happening is after we collect these data points in about 80 seconds, we then use the customer's information to match them to jobs that are related to what they do. So if you're an accountant with 5 years experience looking for a job in Joburg, we'd be able to match you with those types of jobs and only those types of jobs, meaning that you only get the information that's relevant to what you do. So we use an AI-based chatbot, so this means that we're able to manage these conversations at scale on several platforms. This also means that our acquisition cost is extremely low because we can acquire customers through existing platforms such as Facebook. And this also means that the sign-up and data collection process is extremely quick, and we've found that when you connect people to jobs, the veracity of the information that they give you is usually extremely high because no one wants not to be reached when that job opportunity comes up. We're currently active in one of the smallest countries in Southern Africa, which is Botswana, and over the past 2 years, we've reached a user base of about 30,000 people who receive about 5,000 alerts every week. We've worked with some of the brands that you see below, and basically the reason why we're doing this is the World Bank estimates that the African online population will be about 910 million by 2025, and we think that coupling this with the fact that unemployment rates are so high, there will be a need for these people to have access to this information online, and we think that there is a gold mine in consolidating the distribution. So for SADC, this is about 60 million people alone. So the next phase for us is to grow out to much larger markets. And we're raising a $100,000 seed fund to be able to expand some of our technology, part of which will be a proprietary tool that allows us to take payments via airtime and work with MNOs to convert that airtime into a revenue sharing agreement. We already have a deal with Orange Telecom in Botswana, which is about a 10 million rand a year deal, and we have plans to scale up across the continent with our relationship with Orange, so practically into Francophone Africa, which is a huge gold mine. I mean, DRC alone is about 90 million people. We also think that there is, if we are the first point of contact to connecting unemployed people to jobs, we have a good advantage in being able to match these people to other services once they become earners.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. A lot of information. All right, so we're going to reset the clock down to 2 minutes, and that'll be for your Q&A. Judges, are you ready? And go for it.
The monetization is not clear. How is that working? The MNOs, what are they paying for? Why are they paying?
Great. So to put it simply, people sign up for our service, and we charge them a convenience fee to basically consolidate whatever job information that they're looking for. So we work with MNOs for distribution because we distribute these alerts, say, via SMS. And because SMS costs an MNO practically nothing to create, they have an interest in making sure that customers can buy and utilize airtime, which is a currency for them. So our service acts as a value-added service for MNOs because it increases the consumption of some of the assets such as calls and SMSs. So practically, yes. So, yeah.
I don't understand your uniqueness because there's other AI platforms out there, chatbots, whatever, that actually do this to scale.
So I think there's two important things to note. The reason why I think we have the ability to scale really quickly is we don't come into any market and try to create another job board. We leverage on the progress that's already been made by existing job boards by consolidating the information across all these job boards. And it works for them too, because when someone gets an alert from Mohiri via SMS, they then end up in the job board site because that's where they have to apply. So that allows us to really benefit from the growth that our partners have already received. Number two, a lot of people that sort of provide these alerts act as job boards themselves. So we work with MNOs, and part of what we also propose to MNOs is Mohiri works as a customer acquisition tool. So if we came into South Africa and partnered with MTN, for instance, who we're in conversation with, they'd be able to sort of mark out what we charge the user for and pay us that fee, and then offer our service for free in order to encourage the uptake of new SIM cards and stuff like that.
Thank you so much for the lovely presentation. You can hand it over to Katie over there. So the next one we're going to have forward is called Foiscience, and Foiscience is the startup brought to you by Technology Innovation Agency. Technology Innovation Agency, bringing the next one. And we just like to also issue a warning, there might be some graphic images here. So we can hand it over for the 3 minutes. If you can go to your slide, your starting slide, please. And there we go. You ready? Your 3 minutes starts right away.
Hello everyone, my name is Nomahlube Nazo. I'm a cosmetic formulation scientist from Foiscience. Foi means faith in French. So the problems that we identified is that in South Africa, at some point, a person will get hurt or get a skin infection. But in South Africa, there's a high rate of unemployment, thus leading people not to afford healthcare because they don't have medical aid. So what we did is we, through the help of a grant from TIA, were able to collect waste, fish waste, collagen we make from fish scales, eggshell membranes we made, hyaluronic acid. So these are biopolymers that we mixed with medicinal plants. So this was a test that we did because TIA afforded us a grant so that we could be able to register the technology with Adams and Adams and also be able to test. So this was day one and then day 30. And then this lady had a severe fungal infection and it was healed within 15 days. And then this gentleman had a boiling water burn and within 15 days he was healed completely. The skin grew back and there's no scarring. So what we've done, because our competitors are well known and they are big, we needed to bridge the customer gap and so that we can be seen by customers and add a value add. So we did an app and now we are piloting it through WhatsApp and Google Forms. So what the app does, it's a skin recognition app. You upload the picture of what you are having at the moment as a problem. Then it recognizes the problem, it recommends the treatment. The person can then buy the treatment, it's delivered to them. They also have an option at a reduced rate to either book a nurse or book a healthcare assistant so that it can be able to assist them. We also have a waste beneficiation platform because we needed, when we scale up, to have a consistent supply of waste where we upload our waste generators. And on the side, we also have a virtual training hub that will take place in June next month. And this picture was taken last year. So I train unemployed women and youth to be able to get a market from them. And what I also do is I train farmers so that they can be able to plant medicinal plants, extract them, and then they do their own enterprises, and then we license the technology to them. So how I managed to do this was to raise funds. In the past 12 months, I've been doing R&D for other companies so that I can be able to raise 350,000, and I won a few prizes, and Tia helped me. But how I'm able to work nicely is I form partnerships with other.
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting your word, but there, 3 minutes is up. Give a round of applause. Are our judges still okay? We're still good to go, right? Your 2-minute Q&A starts right now.
All right, what you're doing is very commendable, but in terms of your solution,
Yes.
the part where you say somebody uploads a picture, in the case of a misdiagnosis, I understand that you can see from the picture what's going on, but in some cases, it might require that a doctor needs to check somebody, right?
Yes.
So how are you going to handle that?
So our next phase is we are currently recruiting doctors to be able to assist us. For now, I have 20 doctors, and I also work with UCT who have a skin clinic where a person, if it's really complicated, the doctor can't help, they can do a biopsy there, and then we can be able to refer the person to the skin clinic, and that's free in the Grootersdorp Hospital.
All right, thanks.
You've raised quite an amount of grant funding. Are you making any sales?
Yes, so the sales that I'm currently making, I'm very careful because the lady from Adams and Adams was like, you need to fly under the radar till we can do it. So the sales that we do is so that we can test what we do. So say, for example, you have a problem and then we do it for you because we are trying to solve 25 skin infections, and then we then sell within that rate. But now what we do is we don't list everything that is there for patent reasons. And I do have an indemnity form that I make the customers to sign so that they understand why not everything is listed. So that's how I raised the 350,000, and yeah.
And quickly, what's the plan to becoming commercial? How long are you seeing it?
Okay, so this is my commercialization plan on how to get customers, right? So South Africa has 26 universities and FET colleges. So those people, we are then going to be taking them to train as our sales force, and also we are going to be selling through vending machines that will be able to be accessed in 24 hours because accidents happen all day long, so person can be able to access.
Thank you very, very much. There we go. Take a deep breath. You can hand it over to Katie over there. Right, so that's the end of our seed stage. We're going to be swapping around our judges right now, just so that the judges can take a breather. Not you yet. Not you yet. You can not yet. No, you chill. We like you right there in the middle. So we're just going to wait for the judge to finish. But the next one we're going to be doing is going to be the Series A side, and we're going to get Sipho Zwane. Is that no? No? Christoph? Yeah. So my Xhosa name is actually Sipho. Gift. Given to me by my Xhosa teacher from the Eastern Cape, actually. We are gifts, bro. We are gifts. You know? All right, so let me get the company is ready. Looking for Franc. All right. Franc, okay. Lupiya. Right, you're on that side already. And then Zipos. Thank you. All right. You're ready to go with this one, right? 3 minutes and a 2-minute Q&A. I'm ready to hear this. I'm sure you are too. You ready, sir? All right, your 3 minutes. Judges, are you cool? 3 minutes starts now.
Hi guys, I'm Seb from Franc, where we're trying to make investing supremely simple. So our estimates are that on the continent, half the adults save, but very few people invest. Often the terms are used interchangeably, but they're fundamentally different. You save when you want to put money aside to consume, but investing actually builds your wealth. Now, people are tired of seeing the rich get richer, and with the mobile explosion, there's a lot of interest in investing. South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, all in the top 10 for the search term, how to invest. So why don't people invest? Well, the bank products are not great. You don't either get very little interest in your savings account, or in a fixed deposit account, you don't have much liquidity. The big financial services providers have expensive products and often high minimum investment amounts, which exclude a lot of our population. The other part is, well, you can also open a share trading account, but who's got time to research what to buy? And often that leads to bad decisions. So what have we done differently? We've distilled investing down into 2 products: a cash fund for short-term investing and a local index tracker for long-term investing, just as the big man suggested. So what's our secret sauce? Well, it's in the journey to get you from wanting to become an investor to an investor in as few steps as possible. We're also a robo-advisor, so we can help you make the decision to choose between the 2 funds. And in terms of how we make money, well, we charge a 1% all-in asset management fee. Our distribution has been mainly B2C thus far. We put a lot of effort into our content generation, our online marketing, our blog, academy, YouTube, to try and upskill and teach our consumers about investing and financial literacy. As we know, South Africa, financial education is not great. But we know B2C is hard, so we also have a big B2B2C strategy where we're looking for partners. We've actually done our first one recently. We've onboarded a few hundred KFC employees where the employer wanted to provide their staff with employee benefits. This is the sort of serviceable market. We're going to focus on Southern Africa for now, just because of the legislation and the licensing that we have. But potentially we could look for African expansion with a partner like EcoBank, because we are a fintech fellow with them. This is Thomas and myself, the two co-founders of the business. He's an engineer with a PhD in machine learning. I'm an actuary, been in financial services my whole career. This is our traction to date. We're fast approaching 30,000 downloads, 5 million impressions. Our numbers should double at the end of this month, year to date. And what we're looking for, we've already raised $440,000 through our seed round, so we're just trying to fill the back end of $200,000. Thanks.
There we go. It's 5 seconds to spare. He is ready to go ahead and answer some questions, and we'll start that immediately.
Oh, am I to assume you've got 820 in deposits, that your revenue is at 1% of that?
Correct. Yeah.
Where are you seeing your fastest expansion going from here?
So in terms of user numbers, the partnerships. So if we can get more employer groups on board. So the first partnership that we did was with another insurtech. So we provided the saving solution, they provided the risk benefits, and they've already got a big client base of SMEs, and they estimate that in South Africa, less than 5% of SMEs provide employee benefits for their staff. So that's a big untapped market, especially, COVID, I think, has woken a lot of people up that they need to be financially fitter.
3 slides ago, you showed some reputable brands that you did not speak to. Could you please go back and tell us why they're there?
So like I said, You've
gone past it?
This one?
No, go forward twice.
One where you see the Google.
Again? There.
Oh, sorry, yeah, so this is who we've worked for. So Thomas, my partner, he's a PhD from Oxford. He's worked for MIT, Google, Man Discovery, and I worked at Nedbank's M&A team in Brimstone.
Okay, sorry, I could have missed it, but in terms of your competitors, right?
Yes.
Your value proposition, how does it set you apart from your
So
competitors?
this slide attempts to show how easy our platform is. Whenever we talk to our customers, they say, we like Franc because it's so simple. These other platforms, so we try to compare like how you can start and end, like how many steps it takes. We think we're the simplest. So our value proposition is really ease of use and not going through too many hoops.
Underlying assets that you are investing in for this?
So our cash fund is the Allen Gray Money Market Fund, and then the equity fund, Satrix 40.
Judges are happy with 7 seconds to spare. Give them a round of applause, please. Congratulations. Thank you. Right, we're going to move on. Sanitize your hands there very quickly. Not too quickly. You must take some time to. I always say very quickly, but not quickly. You must take time. Take time. Right, next up we have got Lupiya. And if you can just get to your slide, please, sir, to start us off. And there it is, as we can see it. You ready, sir? Just come over this way. Come this way. There we go. Relax. Good. He's good. He's good. And 3, 2, 1, and go.
I'm Muchu Kaingu, founder and CTO of Lupiya, an online lending platform in Zambia. My mother was a hardworking, small-scale trader. For years, she religiously banked her earnings. But when it came to accessing a loan to grow her business, she could not qualify for one because she lacked collateral. She had all the good qualities of a successful entrepreneur, but she died a poor woman because she was marginalized. 21 years later, financial institutions in Africa still operate this way. 65% of the adult population in Africa is financially excluded. This demographic runs the kind of small businesses that account for 90% of all the business activity on the continent. 40% of small businesses in Africa state that the lack of capital is the single most important reason impeding their growth. And true to this testament, millions of them go out of business every year. We are building the digital bank of the future for Africa. We're at the first step of this journey, of this bold vision, by providing online loans to marginalized communities in Zambia, with a special focus on female entrepreneurs. Our model leverages technology to enhance service delivery through credit decisioning automation. It takes 24 hours to process a loan on our platform. And through our online eligibility checker, customers know instantly whether they qualify for a loan on our platform or not. We're tapping into a $300 billion funding gap for SMEs in Africa. I know you're thinking, for an opportunity this good, there must be more players on the market. Our secret sauce is our technology. We are the first company in Zambia to be able to provide online loans fully online without any physical intervention. Our customers come to us because we provide them transparency, flexibility, as well as quick turnaround time. Last year, we raised a seed round from Enigma Ventures of $1 million, and we're on track to generate over $500,000 in revenue this year. We also won the e-commerce award for financial inclusion in Zambia. That is our team. I bring over 11 years of experience in software engineering, and Evelyn brings over 10 years experience in
Thank you for the presentation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big team you got there. We're going to start your Q&A. Ready, judges? People's going to start first. Right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Thank you for the presentation. What are you asking for?
We're asking for $5 million, Series A, and this is going to our loan book, as well as enhancing our technological capacity.
If you're on track to making 500 million, why do you want 5 million?
We're on track to generate $500,000 in revenue this year.
Where are you seeing your biggest growth coming from? Zambia is a limited market.
Well, it is a smaller market than South Africa, but we've estimated the marketing size through our partnership with Google to be $600 million, and we're carving out 10% of that to $60 million.
You've actually answered my question.
Oh, okay.
What have been your biggest challenges so far?
Our biggest challenges have been finding the right talent in a nascent market like Zambia, and we've tried. We've built quite a formidable team, but it has taken us some time to get there.
What are your default rates?
10%.
45 seconds left. You want to ask the judges a question? Because you can ask them a question. Let's see what they say. All right, so are you happy?
I'm happy.
Is everybody else happy? All right, give them a round of applause. We're going to sanitize the microphone right over there. Still has 30 seconds left. You can ask me a question. They're still quiet. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Right, Zipos, are you ready? Right, we're going to start. We just let the clock go down to 0. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the awards ceremony as well. We've still got some pictures from investors, which we're going to bring up shortly too. That should be very interesting to hear too. Zipos has got his notes. You got slides. Are you going to be controlling the presentation of the up the? All right, you ready, sir? Just going to get the slide up. Click again. Right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
So Zipos is going to create the largest retail network in Africa. Before I tell you how, let me tell you a short story of why we got on this journey in the first place. So when I was 10, I worked in my mother's retail shops, and I heard her complain of the same things all the time. Stock taking being time and energy consuming, profit and loss being difficult to calculate, and shopkeepers stealing all the time. So I later realized that all these problems stem from one major problem that almost 90% of small retailers face: poor record keeping. This problem on its own creates multiple new problems, such as poor internal reporting, which hinders their planning and ability to grow. And then this also creates challenges for them to access credit whenever they're in the time of financial need. And then manufacturers are bearish to invest in informal markets, and the government struggles to influence informal market behavior. So the Zipo solution is a point-of-sale app that is going to help informal retailers know whether they're making a profit or not, track their sales, and know what their stock levels are. Informal retailers at this point are now going to, on one hand, have information to make business decisions quickly, but on the other hand, have manufacturers and financial service providers who have analytics into how their products are performing in the informal market. We are also going to launch a consumer loyalty app, which is meant to drive the demand for the Zipos retailer app using a consumer loyalty program. Africa's retail sector, guys, is worth $500 billion. Our strategy is to immediately capture 22% of the market in Zambia's capital city and use that as a foundation to scale up to SADC and then beyond. This is going to give us credible data points for manufacturers to access analytics at a value of about $10,000 per month. Our revenue primarily comes from manufacturers paying analytics to us and credit that we offer to informal retailers. Zipos launched this service in 2019, and now we're standing at 377 retailers on the platform, and we used our initial seed investment to do R&D, and now our proposal is to launch our product at scale. We're currently looking for an investor who's going to give us a $70,000 convertible note, which is meant to feed into our Series A raise of $1.3 million. Our team consists of experts in finance, technology, and sales, and FMCG logistics. When I started, I told you we're going to launch or create the largest retail network in Africa. When I look at the image you're looking at, all I see is strength. Because when you put all these small businesses together, we can make them stronger and we can make them win. Join Zipos and let's help small businesses win. Thank you.
There we go. Nice one, nice one, nice one. Pacing the floor like a machine. Right, 2 minutes for Q&A. Judges, we'll start in the middle.
What's your current traction? You mentioned the number of retail little stores you've got. Are they paying? What's happening right now in the business?
So we have 377. A third of them are paying, and they pay, if they want the full service, they pay about $8 a month. Then the rest are on a free tier. Although our aim is not to earn revenue from retailers, our primary aim is to earn revenue from manufacturers paying for analytics and credit from financial service providers.
Is that happening right now?
No, what is happening is subscription currently from retailers, and then we're about to launch the new service.
All right, sorry, there's a value proposition you mentioned, the loyalty app, but you very superficially touched on that. Can you tell us a bit more?
Which country are you from?
Yeah, South Africa.
South Africa, great. So if you're trying to buy from a spaza and you want to buy water or sugar, whenever you buy from a spaza shop instead of Checkers, you get loyalty points, and then you can get free products from buying from spaza shops. That will encourage more users to go back to spaza shops, and spaza shops will be forced in that regard to keep using Zipos. That's how we want to tie them together.
Please speak to us about your competition in the market.
So we've got various competitors, Soko Watch in Kenya, Yoko here. What separates us from them is the primary market we've started with is a cash-based society, unlike South Africa here, where most people pay using cards. So we've designed a product that speaks to the cash-based society that we're currently in, although at the same time we're already changing that up to suit mobile money and so on and so forth. That's just one of the things.
Data protection when it comes to giving info?
Yes, we've taken that into consideration as well and want to follow international standards.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for responding to as many things as you could. I do believe we are changing up the judges. Are we still changing the judges? Katie, we good for that? We're going to change the judges. We thank the judges that have done what they've done. Now you come up with those questions. The pressure of standing and sitting there and going, oh gosh, I've got 2 minutes to do it. So we're going to getting the judging form. This is for the awards ceremony, naturally, that we're going to be changing the judges, but they are so are the judges not changing? Oh wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So I was looking for Hein, Grace, and Evelyn. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to just relax and just rub your hands a bit quickly, just rub your hands, get that energy flowing in your hands quickly. Okay. Exactly, the sanitizing. So we're going to go straight into our the judges, yeah? We're going to be going into our investor pitching in just a moment. You see Katie's doing all the sanitizing that needs to be done to make sure that we are making sure that we are keeping healthy and following the necessary protocols. I can tell you now that Clive Butko is ready to go. He's ready to go. Like literally he's ready to go. Even out the door, he's ready to go out the door. So when you're ready, you can tell me to go ahead. But everybody, if you're feeling a bit tense, you can more just shake it out or just relax. And hello to everybody on TikTok there. Right? We can't stop without the... We are the founders. Grace, Hein, Evelyn. They were waiting to make sure everything's really, really sanitized. Right, sanitizing the hands and the microphone. Let's make sure all good, all good, all good. Right, have you got? Where's the pointer for Clive over here? No, doesn't have. Okay, cool. Phew, no pressure. Oh, that's how you look.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Have you got my slides ready?
You can go for it.
My slides.
You can go for it.
Have you got my slides?
My slides. I left him.
I'm just joking. BC's got a sense of humor, so I'm just trying to make a point there. I just want to make one comment. So it's Clive Butko from Kalon Venture Partners. Owen's there from Carscan. We did early stage investment there. But one comment, and then why you should look at Kalon as a potential venture capitalist. We do a due diligence on you, and Christoph was speaking about that earlier. Do a due diligence on whoever provides you money. Probably one of the biggest reasons why businesses fail is they select the wrong investors. They bring the business down, they become toxic, and there's no more business. That's the reason I'm giving you that advice. Let's see what you should be looking for from an investor. So an investor needs to, much more important than an investor being an accountant or an actuary, or no disrespect to those guys, you need an investor who's an operator. Someone that's built many, many businesses. If you're a tech business, they build tech businesses. If you're this type of business, that's what they've done. So what you need to look for opposed to an investor is a skilled business operator. What we provide at Kalon, besides myself, who's been building businesses for 30 years, we provide a board of people and an executive team who knows how to build businesses. We've got the playbooks. Whatever business you're building, software as a service, you talked about Yoko, or compared to Yoko, all these businesses I've seen today, we've built those types of businesses. We've got we can actually see behind corners. We've got the playbooks to build them. So what do you need from a venture capitalist? You need 4 types of things. 4 types of capital. Number 1, mentorship capital. Every one of you, it doesn't matter how experienced you are, you need mentorship. So you need an investor that can provide you that mentorship every single day. If they phone you every single day, whatever time of day or night, that you can provide guidance or whatever it might be. That's mentorship capital. That's how to build your business, what you should be looking after, how you hire people, whatever it might be. The second type of capital is network, social capital. So the first one was access to mentorship capital. The second one is access to social capital. Social capital is the networks. They need to bring networks. They can open up doors for you in South Africa. They can open up doors in Africa. They can open up doors for you all over the world. The third one we're talking about is relationship capital. They need to be able to open, for one, bring human capital to you, plus open up not only capital doors, but doors to access to client. And the fourth one is human capital. You know, one of the most important things, great people build great businesses. And what we need to do in our businesses is find the best human capital and the best talent from whatever it is required in the world to our companies. And you need your investors to have access to bring you the best human capital, to help you with those interviews, et cetera, et cetera. So I think in summary what I'm saying, if you are looking for pre-Series A or Series A, so you're looking for a later stage, you've got product market fit, you're doing 10, 20, 30% month-on-month growth, you're doing about $500,000 in revenue at a minimum per month, then come and speak to Kalon Venture Partners. That's the investor we are. We get very, very involved. We don't say smart capital, we do smart capital. We are the entrepreneurs behind the entrepreneurs. We're not the accountants behind the entrepreneurs. We're not the actuaries behind the entrepreneurs. We're not the private equity players. We are entrepreneurs, helping entrepreneurs become heroes. Thank you.
Thank you. Exactly on time as well. Exactly on time. Right.
This is not pressure, you know, being on the other side.
I saw the way you're looking at him like hawk eyes.
Jeez,
like,
I tell you,
I'm going to grill
this is pressure.
this guy.
I used to sit on that side of the table, so I know what it's like.
Right, your 2-minute Q&A starts now.
You know, it sounds really great, and it's really great as a pitch, but obviously you started somewhere. So tell us about your journey of failure that led you to this point where you now provide all of these benefits to entrepreneurs.
That's a great question. You know, I started my career out in Silicon Valley, building tech business in Silicon Valley. I've built them in India, I've built them in New York, Boston, Israel. I've built them all over the world. But the best lessons I've learned are the failures, because failure is actually the best teacher. Now, South Africa is not a good place to fail, because failure is seen as failure, not seen as experience. What they call failure in Silicon Valley, they say, how many experiences have you had? They actually call failure experiences. So I've probably been involved in building about 100 tech businesses, probably failed at about 5. And the best lessons I've learned there is what I said earlier, is get the right venture investor on board. Because my interest when I failed for the one business and the investors' interests were disaligned. They wanted to get out of the business, I needed more cash, they wouldn't put more cash in, we ran out of business, I had to close the business down. Best lesson I've ever learned. So I could go on for another half an hour, but because I'm a venture capitalist. But
great pitch, Clive. I hope I get on your radar. But quick questions, and these are 2. So what is your go-to market strategy to get quality entrepreneurs, and then how long, or rather, what is the percentage of them getting to a term sheet level?
Yeah, I think, look, I'll be honest with you, the term sheet one is we've got 8 companies in our portfolio, we've seen about 1,600. So it's 1 in 200 are probably getting to, not to term sheet, I think we get more to term sheet, but when we do the detailed due diligence, we find skeletons in the cupboard and we don't actually take it forward. So that's the bottom line. How we get out there, we just if you follow me on LinkedIn, I'm posting 2-3 LinkedIn things every single day, building a brand. We show you we know how to build businesses. We talk about software as a service, how you hire sales guys. I did sales training here on Tuesday. That's how we build our brand, and we show that we are the entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Clive. Thank you for your time. Really awesome. And he's not joking about those LinkedIn posts, I can tell you that much. Right. Next up, we're looking for Lelemba Firi. Are you ready? You've been ready the whole day, right? Okay, so we're going to let Clive cross you first. Interruption of your time. All right? Hi, Clive. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Okay, right.
Yeah.
No competition. She's like,
so now
thank you, I dropped the mic and I'm out of here.
So now that Clive is out of the room, I want to say we do everything that Clive does and then more, okay? First of all, we're all friends, so it's all fun and games. So I'm Lelemba. I'm the founder and principal for Africa Trust Group. So we manage female-funded VCs. And so what we're looking for is female entrepreneurs to invest in. What we discovered is that there is a huge gap in access to finance for women entrepreneurs. This is a global problem, but this is even more so a problem here in Africa. This is in spite of the fact that sub-Saharan Africa actually has got more female entrepreneurs starting in entrepreneurship than male entrepreneurs. The difference is that they fail really early, and this is a problem that is allocated to a lot of things, but the chief problem being this access to capital issue. And so we want to bridge that gap. We want to ensure that women are having the same access to funding as men do. And so when we're looking at a business, what we want to see is that it's got potential to scale. And so we take you right from the beginning. We're able to invest right when you're at that idea stage. We hold your hand right until you are in that seed to Series A stage, because we know that this is the place where a lot of female entrepreneurs actually die. And so when you come to us, what we are getting on board as is not just as a funder, as a VC. We are your strategic partner. We want to work with you to give you the key introductions that you might need into markets, into distribution channels, even to governments, and helping you with really jumping all those regulatory hurdles that you might be facing in your industry. And so for us, it's not just about here's the money, go back and bring us 3x money. We're walking that journey with you. We are invested the same way that you are invested. On top of that, we want to make sure that beyond us, you've got access to even bigger pockets. And so we facilitate this through really giving extensive introductions into bigger investors across the board. We ourselves all have entrepreneurial experience, 40 plus years accumulated together, and this is on the African continent, this is Europe, and this is in the US. And so whether it is a product that you have that is beautifully African made, but you want to take it into the Western world, we are happy to give you access to those markets. Or if it's a product that you feel is best placed in Africa and needs to expand into other African markets, we are best placed to help you achieve that. And so if you are a female entrepreneur, or you have actually a diverse founding team where a woman has got some significant control and shareholding in the business, we don't want lip service. We don't want to just have a woman in the board and saying that it's women-led when they actually don't have strategic control of the business. We want to ensure that diversity is growing both at that entrepreneur stage, but also from the investor's perspective. And so it's women talking to women, and our team is diverse in terms of religion, color, gender. And so if you feel like you haven't been understood in the market, and if you feel you need that strategic partner that helps you right from when you're thinking about it to when you can really scale and get to a global stage, we're the people for you. Thank you.
Wow. You know that sometimes when I'm doing an auction or MC, I slip into an autopilot mode. That was like, I could see her putting the button going on. Clive is gone, I'm starting. There we go. Right, your 2-minute Q&A. Judges, you ready? All right, let's go.
Hello, Lemba. You said earlier today in one of the panels that when you raised funds for your fund that you didn't even consider South Africa, you went directly overseas. Obviously, great job. You're bridging that gap for a lot of the investees that you invest in. But do you advise them to do the same as a next step after you have invested in them, or?
Not necessarily. I think it's really dependent on the industry that you're in. Sometimes we find that in product type industries like FMCG type of goods, you're better off getting local investment. But for a lot of the tech businesses, you might want to look a lot more broadly. So it depends on the business. Yeah.
You know, I personally did not know about you guys until today when Evelyn told me about you guys. And my question then stems from that, in the last 2 days, I think only 3 women have pitched.
Okay.
So with that in mind, how are you guys getting in front of women who are doing a lot of really amazing stuff, but just not being seen, as you said?
Yeah. So what we find a lot is that a lot of women might not be found at this type of events, but they're busy actually working and building businesses. And so what we've tried to do is really get into the networks that are offline. So we do everything from radio, we are in WhatsApp groups. There's a lot of women entrepreneur network groups that might be focusing on training, but this is where you might actually find the really good entrepreneurs. And so we try a multi-pronged approach from our social media to deep WhatsApp group networks, to radio, to TV. We try to go as far and wide as possible, and that's why I'm here, in case there's a few of you that are here.
Okay, and then my final question would just be, are you funding women in every stage? So is it pre-seed, is it early, is it
Absolutely. So we're funding pre-seed, seed, and we're industry agnostic, so we look at every industry apart from the sin industries, guns, drugs, all that jazz.
Time's up. Almost, but you still got time, right?